There's a voice inside your awareness that doesn't sound like worry or habit or memory. It arrives with a different quality, a certainty that cuts through mental chatter, a pull in your chest that feels like recognition. Something in your reality is preparing to transform, even though the surface of your life looks unchanged. This isn't fantasy playing tricks on your mind. This is transmission. This is contact from another version of your existence. Somewhere in the quantum field, a version of you is already breathing inside the life you keep imagining. That reality isn't someday, or maybe, or if you're lucky enough. It's active right now. That self is moving, choosing, creating within a timeline where your dreams are baseline normal. And something remarkable is happening. That version has started broadcasting instructions backward through the invisible network connecting every potential you could ever inhabit. You register this as gut feeling, as thoughts that land with unusual confidence, as inner direction that bypasses doubt entirely. You feel it as an impulse telling you when to act, when to pause, when to speak up, when to pay closer attention. You notice it showing up in moments so precisely timed they seem orchestrated. Messages arriving exactly when your soul was asking questions. Strangers speaking the exact truth your heart needed to hear. Symbols appearing again and again until ignoring them becomes impossible. The transmission never starts loud. It begins as whisper because you're being trained to tune into frequencies your physical senses can't detect. You're learning to feel the field itself. When the field communicates, it doesn't rely on words. It operates through resonance, through vibration. Your body becomes the receiving station, and your heart becomes the decoder. Some days you'll doubt everything. Days when clarity vanishes and movement feels pointless. But even during those stretches, your parallel self keeps sending the signal. You might suddenly feel motivated after weeks of stagnation. You might catch your reflection and see strength you don't remember possessing. This is alignment forming, a magnetic bridge between realities. The former identity resists. The emerging identity persists. Every vision you've ever held already occupies a dimension of existence running parallel to yours. Not in front of you waiting, not behind you fading, beside you. You're brushing against it with every brave choice. The field recognizes when you're prepared to expand beyond current limits. When readiness arrives, it creates pressure. It reorganizes circumstances. It shifts the path so you cross into new territory before you even realize the transition happened. You feel called to abandon patterns that contradict who you're becoming. You feel magnetically drawn toward decisions that others might question, but your soul understands completely. You feel hungry for something unnamed yet undeniable. These aren't random urges. These are coordinates of your next reality being downloaded directly into conscious awareness. The transmission disrupts comfort. It has no patience for excuses. It doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It arrives when staying the same becomes more threatening than transformation. It arrives when the universe determines that clinging to your old story now endangers your evolution. The transmission can feel destabilizing, like your entire existence is being dismantled from within. Connections change, structure dissolves, identity fractures. But chaos serves a purpose. Something vast is reconfiguring your world to mirror the truth of what you're capable of becoming. Outdated versions are peeling away. You're being recalibrated to match your future frequency, not your historical one. You're not being tested just to suffer. You're being refined. Each wave of uncertainty is the final remnant of who you used to be. Each obstacle is an opening disguised as opposition. The stronger the pull grows, the nearer the convergence becomes. The more you sense something trying to awaken you, the more accurate that sensation is. There's intelligence orchestrating the timing of every synchronicity. There's surgical precision in moments that feel destined. The field isn't guessing its way forward. It's directing you. The aspect of you that already holds the outcome is choreographing the steps you're taking today. You and your future self are positioned on opposite ends of the same bridge, both calling the other forward. Trust the desire that keeps resurfacing no matter how much you try to quiet it. Trust the trajectory that feels like it selected you. Trust the version of yourself that refuses to fade from your inner vision. Imagination isn't wishful thinking. It's remembrance from a timeline your consciousness is reaching toward. You're not sitting around waiting for tomorrow. Your future is transmitting to you in this exact moment. The only question is whether you're willing to receive it. The transmission doesn't vanish when you ignore it. It simply intensifies, grows more persistent, becomes impossible to deny. Because your evolution isn't optional. The existence meant for you cannot be delayed indefinitely. The field seeks alignment. It wants coherence between the identity you perform for others and the identity you were architected to embody. When those two frequencies match, your world reorganizes so rapidly it appears miraculous. But miracles are just plans fulfilled. The transmission is evidence that your life is fluid, not fixed. It's evidence the universe recognizes you as ready. Ready to shift coordinates. Ready to occupy a timeline that's been holding space for your acceptance. Ready to grow into the self that already operates from certainty. Listen, feel, respond. The transmission is in motion, and it's calling your name. Every potential that has ever moved through your imagination is already unfolding in an alternate you. This isn't metaphor. This is quantum architecture. Within the field, all timelines coexist simultaneously. Reality doesn't progress linearly. It branches in infinite directions, like electricity through atmosphere. Each branch represents a different you experiencing a different result. The version who succeeded didn't erase the version who struggled. They exist side by side in parallel streams. The version who surrendered to fear exists alongside the version who chose courage. The version who quit exists next to the version who continued until breakthrough arrived. The distinction between these realities isn't chronological. It's energetic. It's about identity. It's about frequency. You sense this truth in moments when life feels like it could pivot overnight. You feel potential rising in you like ancient knowledge returning. You feel the gravity of seemingly small decisions that carry world-shifting power. Every thought you select opens a doorway. Every emotion you cultivate generates a frequency. Each frequency tunes you into a specific version of your existence. Your awareness is the dial. You access different realities the way a radio scans stations. When thoughts are built from scarcity, you lock into the timeline where scarcity rules your experience. When beliefs expand, you migrate toward the timeline where potential manifests. The field mirrors who you're being, not what you're hoping. Inside you exists the complete archive of your alternate selves. There's a version who recovered, a version who walked away from what depleted them, a version who stayed intact when circumstances looked fatal, a version who learned to trust internal guidance over external chaos. These versions aren't somewhere ahead of you. They're inside you, dormant until choice activates them. If this transmission is landing, take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. That simple action tells the algorithm to share this frequency with more people who are ready to receive it. You encounter these versions in dreams that feel like memory. You encounter them in sudden flashes of a life you've never lived but recognize anyway. You encounter them in the magnetic pull toward something inexplicable. That familiarity isn't accident, it's recognition. Your soul identifying realities it has already witnessed. The field isn't abstract theory. It's the invisible substrate of every moment you inhabit. It holds the design of everything you could become. It holds the map for expansion. It holds proof of your capacity long before the physical world validates it. When a vision feels too compelling to dismiss, that's the field showing you a version of yourself already materialized. Destiny isn't predetermined, only pathways chosen through resonance. Your future isn't a single track, it's a network of options. Reality transforms the instant your internal state transforms. Identity is the mechanism that bends timelines. Become the version who already possesses what you want, and the reality surrounding you must conform. You've experienced moments when fear tried to trap you in a contracted version of self, yet something inside kept expanding. That insistence is the voice of your greater version pulling you forward. That voice originates from a timeline where you already shattered the limitations frightening you today. The fear is outdated information. The longing is current data. Your parallel selves influence each other across the invisible boundaries of time. When one version evolves, it generates ripples through the field. Those ripples manifest as inspiration, intuition, restlessness that compels movement. When one version chooses power, the others receive a surge of bravery. When one version collapses, the others feel urgency to rise. You're more interconnected than you comprehend. The entire constellation of you operates like synchronized stars. What occurs inside you never stays isolated. It broadcasts signals across dimensions. That's why one moment of clarity can restructure everything. That's why you sometimes experience sudden confidence without obvious cause. Progress in one timeline catalyzes evolution in another. The world your physical senses perceive moves slower than the world your consciousness navigates. The shift initiates long before visible results appear. It starts the moment you align your internal state with the version who has already crossed the threshold. The universe adjusts in sequential layers. First energy, then emotion, then thought, then action, then material outcome. You're transforming from the inside outward. You don't need to force your way into change. You need to match your identity with the version who has already changed. That version doesn't wait for approval. It doesn't negotiate with ancient doubts. It operates from knowing. It carries itself as someone who already owns the reality you desire. When you embody that same internal frequency, you enter that same timeline. There are days when the life you want feels distant, yet distance is illusion. At the level of the field, everything you desire exists at zero separation from your current moment. The gap isn't physical, it's vibrational. Shift the vibration and the gap dissolves. What seemed impossible becomes obvious. What seemed far becomes familiar. Every time you envision a better outcome, you're not inventing fiction. You're detecting the signal from a version of you for whom that outcome is actual. Every time you feel a dream pulling you, it's because a timeline where that dream is complete is pulling you forward. The attraction runs both directions. You want that version of yourself, and that version of yourself wants to merge with you. Infinite versions of you exist across infinite timelines, but only one version becomes the one you choose to embody. You choose with every belief you permit. You choose with every boundary you establish. You choose with every risk you accept. And each choice adjusts your resonance closer to the life calling you. The field doesn't choose for you. It reflects you. It mirrors the energy you commit to holding. It materializes the qualities you practice daily, not occasionally, not sometimes, consistently. Reality tracks identity like shadow tracks form. Transform who you're being, and your entire universe rewrites itself around that transformation. Stand inside the energy of the version who already succeeded. Speak as they would speak. Move as they would move. Feel as they would feel. Align with that frequency, and the timeline where you flourish cannot stay separate. It will rush towards you with precision that resembles fate. But fate is simply alignment sustained long enough to become visible. Many versions of you exist. Only one should lead your future. Let it be the one who already knows how powerful you can become. The moment everything begins shifting rarely announces itself dramatically. It arrives quietly. It arrives like a sudden stillness in your breath, like recognizing a thought that landed with too much truth to ignore. The breakthrough moment doesn't wait for ideal conditions. It surfaces when the field senses your identity approaching alignment with the version already inhabiting the life you're reaching toward. Something transforms internally first, not externally. You wake one morning and the world carries a different quality, even though nothing on the surface changed. Colors appear more vivid. Time moves differently for a heartbeat. Your awareness expands just enough to question limits you previously accepted without resistance. This isn't confusion, it's recognition. A new timeline is making contact with your current one. You begin noticing patterns forming around you. You encounter someone who speaks directly to the part of your heart that's been whispering for months. You hear a phrase that feels custom designed for you alone. You discover a symbol or message at the precise instant you're contemplating it. Synchronicities start clustering like stars, forming constellations. They point toward a direction you didn't plan, but somehow always knew. The breakthrough moment is when you stop believing life unfolds randomly. You start perceiving the invisible architecture behind every encounter. You sense the presence of intelligence weaving through your days. You realize events don't just happen. They align. They align with your internal state. They align with your intentions. They align with who you're becoming. There's a shift in how you respond to triggers that once generated doubt or fear. Old patterns feel heavier. They no longer match your nervous system. You notice yourself refusing what drains you and accepting what ignites you. You take steps that once seemed impossible. And each step feels strangely natural because breakthrough is memory returning from a version of you who already walked this exact path. The breakthrough moment isn't one instant. It's a sequence of internal confirmations. It's the accumulation of small choices reflecting new identity. Initially, the signs feel like gentle guidance. Then they intensify. They become unavoidable. When alignment reaches critical mass, reality responds instantly. The field collapses possibilities into one clear trajectory, and that trajectory carries your name. You start noticing the sensation of being guided. Your body reveals truth faster than your mind. Certain opportunities generate a feeling of expansion. Others contract your energy, even when they appear safe. Breakthrough happens the moment you trust expansion and stop negotiating with contraction. Your intuition becomes the authority. Your alignment becomes the strategy. There's a moment when your future self steps closer than ever before. You feel their confidence moving through your decisions. You feel their clarity replacing your hesitation. You feel their courage settling into your voice. And even though you can't see the complete picture, you know exactly what comes next. That knowing is the signal. That knowing is the contact. Breakthrough shatters rules you once believed were absolute. You realize you can create without permission. You realize you can change without warning. You realize you can jump timelines not through waiting, but through aligning. What once seemed unrealistic starts feeling inevitable. What once felt distant starts feeling familiar because you're moving into a story your soul already knows. Sometimes breakthrough arrives through disruption. Something ends. Something falls apart. Something you relied on becomes unstable. You feel the ground shifting beneath your feet. Yet inside there's strange calm. Quiet certainty that this collapse isn't destruction. It's release. The field must remove what obstructs your evolution. It must create space for the timeline that better reflects who you are now. Breakthrough often appears disguised as challenge, an ending that feels personal, a relationship that cannot continue as it was, a fear that resurfaces so intensely you cannot ignore it. These moments don't break you. They break the version of you that no longer matches your potential. When you let the old identity die, you permit the new timeline to be born. The breakthrough moment is the exact point where your new identity becomes stronger than your old narrative. There's no dramatic transformation visible yet, but the internal agreement has been made. The field has received the signal. You've changed direction. You've changed frequency. You've changed what's possible for you. Every cell in your body responds. Your posture shifts. Your attention shifts. Your expectations rise. You stop preparing for disappointment and start preparing for arrival. You stop trying to prove your worth and start expressing it. You stop worrying about what you might lose and start focusing on what you're ready to claim. Breakthrough is where desire meets decision. It's when wanting becomes choosing. It's when possibility becomes identity. It's when hope becomes embodiment. You begin acting as if the future is already unfolding in your favor, and the universe responds because it must. It mirrors the state you hold consistently. There will be moments when the old version tries to return. It will try convincing you nothing has changed. But you'll feel the lie in its voice. You'll sense the gap widening between who you were and who you are now. That resistance is proof of progress. The closer you get to merging with your parallel self, the stronger the pull becomes. Breakthrough isn't the finish line. It's the doorway. It's the initiation into a timeline where you no longer wait for transformation. You create it in real time with every aligned choice. Growth becomes natural state. Synchronicities become normal. Opportunities appear without force. The impossible becomes routine. What you feel right now isn't confusion. It's evolution. The pressure you experience isn't punishment. It's activation. The strange timing you notice isn't coincidence. It's confirmation. A profound shift is happening beneath the surface of your life. The field has already begun rearranging your reality to match the identity you're stepping into. This is the breakthrough moment. It's happening in your awareness. It's happening in your energy. It's happening in every part of you that refuses to settle for the version of life you've outgrown. The message is clear. The bridge is forming. The contact is strengthening. You are being aligned with the timeline where you thrive. Stay awake. Stay aware. Stay committed to the direction that feels like expansion. The breakthrough is here, and the next phase of your reality is already opening in front of you. Fear appears the moment you start rising. Doubt intensifies the moment you move closer to the existence that belongs to you. This isn't evidence that you're failing. This is interference. It's the former version of you fighting for survival. Every time you shift into higher identity, the identity that once kept you contained panics. It doesn't care about your fulfillment. It cares about familiarity. It wants predictable routines even when they constrain you. It wants safety even when it stifles you. It wants control even when it destroys your potential. The old self would rather maintain you in a life that feels comfortable than allow you to enter a future requiring courage. When interference begins, you feel it in your thinking. Suddenly, your mind becomes a battleground where fear argues persuasively and possibility gets dismissed as delusion. You hear thoughts like, "What if this doesn't work?" Or "Who do you think you are?" These aren't protective warnings. They're tactics. Tactics engineered to keep you inside the boundaries you're finally ready to transcend. The old self knows your weaknesses. It knows your vulnerabilities. It knows exactly what to say to make you hesitate. It uses the familiar tone of your past to convince you that change carries too much risk. It will remind you of every failure. It will amplify every fear. It will emphasize every disadvantage. Not because those things represent real danger, but because evolution threatens its existence. Interference also manifests in your emotions. You feel tension rising when you step into bigger choices. You feel guilt when you prioritize your expansion. You feel anxiety when opportunities manifest faster than your old beliefs can process. This emotional resistance isn't truth. It's the echo of your former identity. The feelings are outdated. The path is current. The most camouflaged form of interference is procrastination, not laziness. Delay. Delay that feels justified. Delay that sounds rational. Delay that whispers tomorrow instead of now. Delay is the old self buying time, hoping you'll forget the direction your soul indicated. Delay is the silent destroyer of destiny. The moment you commit to a new timeline, your subconscious is forced to reorganize itself. That reorganization feels uncomfortable because it disrupts patterns that once felt like home. You're not just changing behaviors. You're rewiring the foundational belief of who you think you're permitted to become. Resistance is the friction of transformation. In this phase, the field observes closely. It doesn't punish you for experiencing fear, but it notices whether you obey fear. The challenge isn't eliminating the old self. The challenge is stopping it from leading. You cannot silence fear's voice by arguing with it. You silence it by proving it wrong through action. Your old identity is conditioning. Conditioning formed through repetition. Conditioning reinforced by memories. Conditioning protected by comfort. But conditioning isn't destiny. It's programming waiting to be rewritten. Every time you choose your future self over your fear, the old programming weakens. Every time you take an aligned step, the old identity loses authority. The old self will also try protecting itself through external circumstances. You might notice unexpected problems appearing right as you begin expanding. Plans collapse. People question you. Unexpected obstacles emerge. These aren't coincidences, they're pressure tests. They reveal whether you're being controlled by fear or guided by purpose. When you feel like everything is deteriorating at the exact moment you're trying to grow, that's confirmation you're in the correct transition. The interference rises because the shift is authentic. You're crossing the threshold separating who you were from who you're becoming. Interference can even appear as temporary success, a distraction of comfort, a small reward that tries convincing you you've already done enough. Don't mistake comfort for alignment. Don't mistake a pause for completion. Don't settle at the edge of greatness when the breakthrough waits on the other side. The old you thrives on hesitation. It loves when you replay the same decision repeatedly without moving. It loves when you choose what's familiar over what's expansive. It loves when you search for guarantees before taking action. The future self doesn't negotiate with limitation. It moves first. Evidence appears after. The universe doesn't test your desire. It tests your identity. It asks, do you genuinely want the life you claim to want? Or do you just want the sensation of wanting it? Wanting feels safe. Becoming requires risk, and risk is the doorway through which transformation enters. Now, what we've explored today about parallel self-transmission barely scratches the surface of what's possible when you understand the complete architecture of consciousness frequencies. In my book, Beyond the Frequencies, A Quantum Guide to Consciousness Mastery, I walk you through the 9 master frequencies that don't just help you receive signals from your parallel self, but teach you how to become the broadcast itself, how to shift from unconscious static to conscious transmission, and how to permanently anchor yourself in the timeline where your highest potential is your natural state. It's linked in the pinned comment below. There will be moments when you feel like quitting, moments when doubt feels louder than truth, moments when stepping forward feels heavier than stepping back. These moments are invitations to decide who you belong to, the version that fears the unknown or the version that builds it. Every significant transformation in your life will trigger a final battle with your past identity. Not because you're weak, but because you're evolving. Growth is the most threatening force to the self that wanted you to remain the same. The closer you are to stepping into your new reality, the harder the old reality tries to reclaim authority. In these moments, remember this. The voice telling you to stop is the voice of a self you no longer want to be. The discomfort you feel is evidence of expansion. The fear you feel is the signal that you're touching possibility. And the resistance you feel is proof that transformation is in motion. Interference isn't the enemy, it's the indicator. It shows you exactly where the leap must happen. When the voice of fear becomes loud, choose the voice of the one you're becoming. When hesitation appears, move anyway. When the old identity tries anchoring you in the past, choose the action that reflects your future. You're not losing control. You're taking it back. You're not breaking down. You're breaking free. The old you isn't stronger. It's just louder. But volume doesn't equal truth, and familiarity doesn't equal alignment. The field responds to the identity you reinforce. A single aligned action carries more power than 1,000 thoughts fueled by fear. Continue. Even shaking, continue. Even doubting, continue. Even unsure, because every step you take while afraid is a step that rewrites who you are. Interference is the final sign that the transformation is working. The version of you that once controlled your life is beginning to fade. The identity that once limited you is losing power. The timeline that once confined you is breaking apart. Keep moving. Keep expanding. Keep choosing the self that feels like destiny rather than history. The resistance will not last, but the reality waiting for you will. Take a moment right now and comment below with this exact phrase: I choose the frequency of my highest self. Let that declaration land in the field. Let it signal to the quantum space that you are no longer negotiating with limitation. Your comment isn't just interaction, it's energetic confirmation. It's a conscious interruption in the loop of who you used to be. Drop that phrase below and watch how the universe responds to certainty. The moment you begin rising, the part of you built from old beliefs will try pulling you back. This isn't a sign you're wrong, it's a sign you're changing. When new identity starts taking form, past identity feels threatened and it fights. It fights through thoughts that once sounded like wisdom. Now they sound like fear pretending to protect you. What if you fail? What if they judge you? What if this is too much? What if nothing changes? These questions appear not to guide you, but to trap you inside a version of life you've already outgrown. The old you prefers predictable patterns. It wants routine that keeps you safely inside the known. It doesn't care if the known feels empty. Familiarity feels safer to it than growth. It will try convincing you that comfort equals happiness. It will try making you believe that limitation equals stability. It wants you manageable. It wants you unchanged. You feel this battle inside your body. Tightness in the chest when you consider a bigger step. A wave of anxiety when you begin something new. Strange heaviness when you're close to breakthrough. The nervous system responds to unfamiliar expansion as if it were danger. But discomfort isn't danger, it's evolution. Interference is real and it shows up right when the shift becomes undeniable. The moment you make a bold decision, something unexpected tries shaking your confidence. A plan falls apart. A person disappoints you. A setback appears that tempts you to question why you started. This isn't coincidence. It's a test of identity. Are you returning to who you were or continuing to become who you're meant to be? The old you remembers every moment you felt small. It remembers every time you back down. It knows your history and uses it to obstruct your future. It repeats your old story in your mind like a broken recording. You've failed before. You might fail again. Better to stay where things are predictable. Better to shrink than risk exposure. But there's a deeper part of you refusing to accept that narrative because something inside knows you have more to give. Something inside knows the life calling you is closer than you think. Something inside knows that growth demands sacrifice. You cannot evolve without releasing the version of yourself that was built to survive instead of flourish. Interference doesn't only resist change. It disguises itself as logic. It tries making fear sound intelligent, to delay until you feel ready, to wait until you have more certainty. But readiness isn't a requirement for transformation. You become ready by moving anyway. The biggest trap of interference is the pause, not the stop, the pause, the hesitation that slowly becomes avoidance. The idea you said you'd start tomorrow. The opportunity you promised to revisit later. Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes someday. And someday becomes never. The old identity survives through delay. When you feel yourself retreating into old behavior patterns, don't panic. Notice what's happening. Your system is adjusting to a higher frequency. It's learning how to operate at a level it's never experienced before. Pressure rises because the upgrade is real. Fear rises because courage is active. Resistance rises because possibility is expanding. Interference often sends the same thought in different disguises. You're not enough. You're not ready. You're going to lose. You don't deserve this. But these thoughts don't belong to the future self. They belong to the self that remembers pain and wants to avoid repeating it. The future self has no memory of limitation. It only knows capability. You don't need to eliminate fear. You only need to stop obeying it. You don't need to erase doubt. You only need to move through it. Growth isn't the absence of resistance. Growth is the decision that resistance will not decide for you. Your old identity will always choose what keeps you safe. Your future identity will always choose what helps you expand. Which one you listen to determines which timeline you experience. When resistance appears, the question is simple. Who is in control right now? The self you want to leave behind, or the self you're stepping into? As you grow, you'll feel moments where the old you screams louder than ever. This is a final push from a disappearing timeline. It's the last attempt of a dying version of your story. When you feel the tension rising, know that you're standing at the doorway of transformation. The shaking isn't a sign to stop. It's a sign to step through. The field doesn't respond to who you were. It responds to who you're becoming. Every aligned action strengthens the new frequency. Every step you take while afraid upgrades your identity. Every time you choose expansion over comfort, the universe reorganizes around that choice. Your transformation creates turbulence, but turbulence is proof that you're moving. The old you isn't your enemy. It was necessary for every moment that led you here, but it doesn't get to write the next chapter. You thank it. You release it. You move forward. The voice of fear won't disappear overnight, but it will lose power each time you refuse to let it lead. The breakthrough is already in motion. The shift is already happening. Resistance is simply the old system trying to hold a position it no longer has permission to hold. Keep choosing the future. Keep choosing the frequency that feels like truth. Keep choosing the identity that feels like growth. The interference will fade. The new timeline will stabilize. And the version of you that once felt impossible will become the one you wake up in every day. This is the moment where the old you fights hardest. This is also the moment where the new you wins. If what you're hearing right now is touching something deep in you, if you feel the truth of this landing in your body, if you sense that this conversation is part of your awakening, then I invite you to subscribe, not just to this channel, but to this frequency. This isn't about consuming content. This is about choosing to stay in the space where transformation happens. This is about joining a movement of people who refuse to accept the old story anymore. Subscribe to stay in this conversation. Subscribe to keep your awareness tuned to this level. The more consistently you expose yourself to this frequency, the faster your reality shifts to match it. Connection with your parallel self isn't mystery. It's protocol, a series of choices and internal alignments that tune you into the frequency of the version of you who already lives the life you want. That version isn't waiting in the future. It exists now. It communicates through the field, and the field responds to identity more than intention. The first step in the protocol is awareness. Notice when intuition speaks, it rarely shouts. It appears as calm, knowing that feels like truth without evidence. When a thought arrives with clarity and confidence before your mind has the chance to doubt it, that's a message. Don't analyze. Don't dismiss. Recognition is response. This is how the bridge strengthens. The second step is resonance. You match the frequency of the future self by embodying how they think and how they move. Stand the way they would stand. Speak the way they would speak. Make decisions from their level of certainty. You don't wait for success to feel like success. You feel like success so the timeline where success exists can find you. The third step is emotional alignment. Your emotions are signals that guide your connection. When you feel excitement, pay attention. When you feel expansion, pause and absorb. Positive emotion is proof of resonance. It's the field showing you that the direction you're choosing matches the identity that's ready to emerge. Follow the feeling that opens your chest, not the one that closes it. The fourth step is action, not massive action, aligned action. The smallest step becomes powerful when it's taken from new identity. If the version you're becoming would take the call, take the call. If they would walk into the room, walk into the room. If they would say yes, say yes. The universe calibrates to decisions, not wishes. The fifth step is presence. When you think too far ahead, you activate fear. When you replay the past, you activate limitation. The contact exists only in now. The parallel self communicates in real time through subtle shifts inside you. Stay here. Feel what your body tells you. It knows when your old identity is speaking and when your higher identity is directing. The sixth step is gratitude. Every sign of alignment deserves acknowledgement. When a synchronicity appears, pause and thank the field. When an opportunity arrives, express appreciation before you act. Gratitude is a signal amplifier. It confirms that you recognize progress, and the universe gives more to those who recognize what's already arriving. The seventh step is openness. Guidance won't always appear in the form you expect. The next step might come from a person you least predict. A sudden interest, a shift in desire, a change in environment. Don't judge the path. Be willing to follow the pull even when the map isn't clear. The version of you who thrives knows the route. Your job is to stay receptive. The eighth step is detachment from the old story. You cannot communicate with the future self while clinging to the identity you're leaving behind. Release the belief that you must struggle to deserve more. Release the fear that success will cost you love. Release the thought that you need evidence before you believe in yourself. The new timeline requires a new narrative. The ninth step is silence. In stillness, messages surface. You let the mind soften. You let the noise settle. You allow intuition to rise. Spend a few minutes each day breathing into the center of your chest. Ask the field for clarity. Then stop asking. Let the field speak. Answers come when the inner environment becomes quiet enough to hear them. The 10th step is consistency. One moment of alignment opens the door. Repeated alignment keeps it open. You're building a new frequency inside your nervous system. Repetition stabilizes the identity shift. Every day, choose one action, one thought, or one feeling that belongs to the future timeline. Small moves accumulate into irreversible transformation. This protocol isn't a ritual you perform once. It's a lifestyle, a new operating system for how you think, feel, and behave. The more you live inside this frequency, the more intense the synchronicities become. The signs multiply, the opportunities converge. The separation between you and your parallel self starts to dissolve. Your parallel self isn't teaching you, they're reminding you. You already carry the intelligence of your next version. Your only task is to remove the interference that keeps you from hearing it. When doubt appears, breathe deeper. When hesitation tempts, you act sooner. When fear grows louder, choose anyway. Alignment isn't about forcing outcomes. It's about becoming the kind of person for whom those outcomes are normal. When the internal state rises, the external reality must catch up. The field mirrors identity. The world becomes a reflection of what you repeatedly believe about yourself. Trust the instructions that come. They may not make sense to your logic. They will always make sense to your evolution. If you feel a pull to move, act. If you feel a pull to let go, release. If you feel a pull to explore, follow. These impulses are navigation points from the version of you who already knows where you end up. Contact feels like confidence that arrives without proof. It feels like courage that arrives without certainty. It feels like love that arrives without conditions. Your future self operates from trust. To merge with that version, you must adopt the same trust. Trust that the path exists even before you see it. The protocol doesn't create the connection. The connection already exists. The protocol strengthens it. You're not reaching for a future. You're aligning with a reality that's been calling you since the moment your desire first appeared. Desire isn't random. It's memory. You're not becoming someone new. You're returning to the version of you that was always meant to lead. The life you want is already built in another timeline. Every aligned step collapses the distance between who you were and who you're ready to be. Listen to the signals. Honor the alignment. Move when you're guided. This is the contact protocol, and every moment you follow it, you walk closer to the reality that's been waiting for you to step inside. Reality doesn't change slowly. It collapses. One identity falls. Another takes its place. Everything that no longer aligns with who you're becoming begins to dissolve. This collapse isn't destruction. It's recalibration. The field reorganizing the entire structure of your life to match the frequency you've chosen. At first, the collapse feels like chaos. Plans you depended on stop working. People who once made sense begin to drift. Opportunities that once felt promising suddenly disappear. You question whether you made a mistake. You wonder if you should have stayed where things were predictable. But the collapse is proof of progress. The timeline you're leaving cannot hold you anymore. When the collapse begins, your inner world shifts faster than your outer world can keep up. Thought patterns change, beliefs dissolve, desires evolve. What once satisfied you suddenly feels too small. What once defined you now feels inaccurate. You start to feel unfamiliar, even to yourself. That unfamiliarity is expansion. It's the new identity activating. The collapse removes everything that was built on fear. It clears every attachment that was rooted in insecurity. It breaks every illusion of limitation you carried from your past. When the collapse happens, you're no longer compatible with the old timeline. You don't belong there. Reality must update to reflect that truth. Don't rush to fix what's breaking. Let it break. Let what cannot continue fall away. The field doesn't take anything without preparing something greater to replace it. When one timeline collapses, another rises to meet you. But you must endure the in-between, the space where the old is gone but the new isn't yet visible. This is the most uncomfortable part of transformation. The void, the uncertainty, the silence where doubt tries rewriting the story. Yet within this silence, a new structure is forming. You don't see it immediately because it's being built beneath your awareness. The field upgrades in the background long before the evidence appears in your physical world. Collapse is a sign that you no longer tolerate what you once accepted. That shift alone is enough to change your destiny. When you raise your standards, the universe must adjust its delivery. People notice your energy is different. Some move closer, some move away. The ones who stay are aligned with the timeline you're entering. The ones who leave belong to the timeline you're exiting. Don't chase what tries to leave. Don't cling to what resists growth. The collapse makes space. Space for expansion. Space for abundance. Space for alignment. You're not losing anything. You're shedding. The old self is dissolving so the true self can emerge without interference. During collapse, the field tests your loyalty to your new identity. Not through suffering, but through choice. When certainty disappears, will you return to the familiar, or will you continue into the unknown? The future you calls from the other side. The collapse is the bridge. You either cross or you turn around. Your nervous system might panic because old protection patterns activate. They try convincing you that collapse means danger, but collapse means freedom. The walls that once enclosed you are falling apart. The ceiling that kept you from rising is cracking open. You're being released, not punished. The collapse isn't a crisis. It's an initiation, a sacred passage into the timeline where your potential becomes your foundation. In this phase, the universe removes every distraction from your path. Anything that slows your evolution is exposed. Anything that contradicts your new frequency becomes too uncomfortable to continue. You might feel emotional waves rising without clear reason. Grief for what you're letting go. Fear of the unknown. Excitement that feels almost forbidden. Let every emotion move through you. They're clearing space inside your heart. Space for the future. Space for abundance. Space for the identity that fits the life you're claiming. You're not falling apart. You're falling into alignment. You're not being broken. You're being rebuilt. The collapse also exposes your true values. You discover what matters to you once the noise fades. You discover who supports your growth and who fears it. You discover what dreams were never yours and which ones are your soul's agenda. This clarity arrives like a quiet voice that becomes louder each day. Trust that voice. It knows where you're going. The most powerful moment of the collapse is when you stop negotiating with the past. When you no longer apologize for wanting more. When you stop shrinking to make others comfortable. When you stop asking for permission to evolve. That's the moment reality shifts permanently. There's no return. What collapses was never meant to be part of your next chapter. If it belonged in your future, it wouldn't fall away now. Release the urge to rescue what's dying. Let the timeline you've outgrown complete its cycle. You don't owe your old life a single second more. Every collapse contains a message. The version of you who belongs to the next timeline has taken command. You're being guided, not pushed. Guided by a vision you can feel even if you cannot fully explain it. Guided by a strength that surprises you. Guided by a belief you didn't have before. The quantum shift begins when your identity changes. The collapse happens when your environment adjusts to match that identity. The process isn't always graceful, but it's always precise. Not one thing is removed that you truly need. Not one thing remains that slows your rise. Breathe into the collapse. Welcome it. This is the sign that the future is no longer a distant possibility. It's forming right now. The field has already chosen the path that aligns with your highest self, and that path requires space. Space that only appears when the old structure falls. What feels like loss is clearing. What feels like chaos is construction. What feels like endings are openings. You're witnessing the death of a timeline that kept you small and the birth of a reality that reflects who you truly are. Hold your ground. Stay aligned. Trust the direction that feels like expansion. This collapse isn't the end. It's the moment your future begins to materialize. The version of you who has already lived your breakthrough isn't separate from you anymore. It's not a distant dream or a silent observer watching from another timeline. It has returned. It's here. It's moving through your thoughts, your instincts, your choices, and you can feel it. There are moments now when you act with a confidence that surprises you. Moments where fear tries to speak, but your response is calm and direct. There are decisions you make without overthinking because something inside you knows exactly what comes next. That knowing isn't imagination, it's memory. It's the consciousness of your future self merging into your present identity. The future you no longer whispers. It leads. It guides your attention toward the right people and the right opportunities. It removes your interest from what drains your energy. It pushes you to step into rooms you once believed were too big for you. The return of the future self changes everything because you're no longer driven by who you were. You're driven by who you're becoming. This version of you carries no doubt about your destiny. It doesn't question your worth. It doesn't apologize for wanting more. It doesn't shrink itself to protect the comfort of others. It stands fully in the truth that you're capable, that you're chosen, that you're built for the reality you once thought was out of reach. You feel the shift in your sense of identity. You're not hoping anymore. You're knowing. You're not wishing anymore. You're claiming. You're not waiting for permission. You're moving as if success has already happened, because in another timeline it has, and that timeline is collapsing into this one. Every action you take now carries the energy of alignment. Every step is a declaration. You no longer act just to survive. You act to expand. You act to rise. You act from the standard of the identity that already holds the outcome. This is the return. This is the integration. This is the moment where the future is no longer separate from the present. You notice that life responds differently to you. People treat you with a respect they didn't offer before. Opportunities appear without force. Doors open without begging. You attract what belongs to your new frequency. Not because you chase it, but because you embody it. The universe recognizes you by your energy, not your effort. You've stopped looking backward for answers. The past has nothing new to offer you. You've graduated from the level where your fears were created. You don't fight those fears anymore. You simply rise above them until they cannot reach you. This is evolution. This is identity shifting the structure of reality. The future you sees life through a different lens. It sees challenges as activation points. It sees discomfort as confirmation. It sees change as a privilege. It sees every moment as part of a larger design. There's no panic here. There's no rushing. There's only movement guided by purpose. The return isn't a single moment. It's ongoing. Each day, more pieces of the future self integrate into your behavior. Each day, your actions match a reality that once felt impossible. Each day you step deeper into a timeline where your potential is the foundation, not the destination. You no longer ask how long it will take. You understand that time bends to identity. You understand that alignment accelerates manifestation. You understand that once the mind and the field agree, the physical world cannot resist the outcome. This is quantum transformation. It's internal first, then external, invisible first, then undeniable. The future self returns because you chose to meet it halfway. You listened to the signal. You recognized the signs. You survived the interference. You honored the collapse. And now the reward arrives. Not as luck, not as coincidence, as inevitability. You're not becoming powerful. You're remembering that you already are. You're not stepping into the unknown. You're stepping into the version of reality that's been waiting for you to claim it. You're not asking for guidance. You're merging with the part of you that's always known the path. From this moment forward, you carry a different presence. A presence that tells the world your direction is decided. A presence that people can feel before you speak. A presence that transforms rooms without effort. The future you is fully active, and the story you're stepping into will feel like destiny unfolding in real time. Trust the new impulses rising in you. Trust the clarity that arrives without explanation. Trust the boldness that feels like it comes from somewhere greater. It does. It comes from you. The highest version, the aligned version, the returned version. The timeline has shifted. The merge is complete. You're no longer reaching for your future. You're walking inside it. Before we close, I want you to do something. Drop one word in the comments that captures the energy you're choosing right now. Not the energy you had yesterday. Not the energy you hope to have someday. The energy you're choosing in this moment. One word that represents the frequency you're committing to embody. This isn't just a comment. This is your energetic signature to the quantum field. This is you declaring who you are becoming. Drop that word below. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Not just to stay connected, but to stay coherent, to keep your consciousness tuned to this frequency, to remain in the space where transformation isn't theory, it's your lived experience. The more of us who embody this truth, the more the world reflects that truth back to us. We're not just watching videos here. We're building a collective frequency, a movement of people who refuse to accept the old timeline anymore. Your parallel self has been calling. You've been receiving the transmission. You've felt the signal. Now the question is simple. Will you answer? Will you cross the bridge? Will you let the old timeline collapse so the new one can take form? The field is waiting. Your future self is waiting. The reality you've been imagining is waiting. Not for permission, not for perfect timing. It's waiting for you to step into the frequency that makes it inevitable. Breathe, stand tall, move forward. Your future self is here. The call has been answered. Now walk into what's already yours.